Today marks 1223rd day sharing lessons I've learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and will empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today, speak about where the true power comes from. Where does it come from? Because a lot of times we think about the power as one thing, another thing, third thing, but today we'll speak about 10 things. 10 things, especially I think that in leadership, where the true power comes from. And number one, true power comes from mastering yourself before leading others. True power is coming not from leading others. True power is by mastering yourself. Being able to really see that this inside out journey, inside out. So being able to build yourself, master yourself, be the expert of yourself. Because how are you supposed to lead others if you're not able to lead yourself? I think that's easy to understand. Because we have a tendency to believe that we're able to lead others to take big projects before we're able to really manage ourselves. Because sometimes we think, okay, so if I will take that big project, I will be able to lead. But I think that's the most important part is being able to lead yourself right now. Now, of course, when you have a big project and you need to lead, you need to step up to the game, you're able to do so. But it's so much easier when you actually develop yourself right now, inside out, and those opportunities show up and you are ready for it. So when preparation meets opportunity. Number two is true power comes from embracing vulnerability, not pretending to be invisible. As it's interesting because every single person will have difficulties, adversity, challenges, problems, the things that they don't want to admit, maybe deny, don't want to accept. Every single person will go through maybe self-doubt, feeling not enough, fears. Every single person, unless they have psychopaths, but every single person that I have spoke to, that I read about, that I followed, the most successful people are like humans. They go for exactly the same thing. So I think that when we're able to understand that, we're finally able to really move that to true power, that vulnerability, saying that I don't know yet, but I will figure out because I have the belief that I will work until it's done. Knowing that there will be a lot of setbacks, disappointments, because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I think that when you have that true understanding that nobody's perfect, at that moment, we're able to say that, okay, I'm able to be vulnerable because I know that my vulnerability will empower someone else because it allows them to be themselves as well. Because when we try to show ourselves as invisible, I think that we sometimes disconnect from people because we don't relate to people. And I think that when we're leaders, we want to relate. At least at the beginning of the journey, this is where I used to be. And that's where I am right now. So that means that journey, I know where you are because I made that journey. And that's what ability does to relate. Number three is true power comes from knowing when to speak and when to be silent. When to speak and when to be silent. And again, this is very, very important because we have a tendency to be silent all the time. But true power is coming from knowing when to be, when to be in and speak, when to speak and when to speak up, and when to be silent. Because I think that true courage coming from ability to speak when it's needed, to stand up and speak. Because it's not virtue not to say anything, be silent. Because sometimes we want to make that water smooth. But I think that sometimes being able to say, I don't want to be silent all the time. I want to really learn how to develop myself, how to really speak up, how to be courageous, how to be confident. Because not always need to speak up, because some people just speak up all the time and it doesn't lead anywhere. So being able to really develop the wisdom and asking, does it matter if what I will share doesn't matter? Because sometimes I can share a lot of great things, but for other person will go for one ear and other ear. So that means it that other person doesn't value it, it's not necessary. So being able to understand where to speak up and when to speak up is very, very important. And true power is not knowing that. Number four, true power comes from transforming pain into purpose. pain and a purpose. So it means we need to ask, okay, how could we use this adversity, setback, disappointment, failure, pain, massive pain into massive energy, massive purpose? Because one thing that I really love is that your adversity, your pain could make you better or bitter. But when you choose to make it better, that means that there will be a lot of people like yourself who maybe struggle right now, but because you chose to overcome it, now you're able to really help other people who are in exactly the same spot as you were. And you are the best qualified person to help that because you know exactly how they feel at the moment. And that's why, like, when you transform pain into purpose, when you really find out how to overcome that adversity, how to overcome that pain, how you can really use that pain for your purpose in life to really, maybe even a calling, to make sure that you don't avoid that pain, but you really go through it. Because if you deny it and you're looking for other person to show example, because you'll be able to really do that. Be able to wait until someone else being in exactly the same spot achieve success, and you learn from them, or you can be that person who really is in this kind of terrible situation, and you overcome, and you'll be able to help other people. Number 5, is true power comes from making decisions based on principles, not pressure. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times when we are in struggle, we really want relief. We want immediate results. But what that leads to, that a lot of times when we focus on immediate results, that means that we have that big vision of the teacher, but those immediate results will potentially will be a whole different direction from our vision. So when we pursue something, when you say, like, do they execute based on principle, on my values, on my beliefs, on my who I want to become, or do they execute because I want to relieve the pain? I want to relieve the pressure. And I think that sometimes is okay, just a little bit, because of course we need to take care of that pressure. But I think that how much time and how much priority do you allocate that? Because we need to take care of our urgencies. That's totally fine. But I think that being able to allocate 20% of the time on their urgencies and 80% on priorities, that you can really move to that direction, that is what true power. Being able to focus on principles no matter what, and being able to control your emotions during tough days. Number 6 is true power comes from giving credit, not receiving it, not hoarding it. Because a lot of times we want credit, we want appreciation. But I think that true power comes from being able to work very hard to give credit to others. I love one leader that said that I was listening, said that when he gives authority, responsibility to other person, so that if you win, that wins is yours. If you lose, that problem, that loss will be ours. Very, very powerful statement as a leader. If you win, that win is yours. If you lose, and there's a problem, that problem and loss will be ours. Very powerful. And that's the thing, that being able to not needing that credit because your cup is so full. And then again, that's when leaders are not supposed to have empty cup, because if it's empty cup, they lead because they want their cup to be full, and they look for appreciation, they look for credit, they look for other things. But when your cup is so full, you don't need appreciation, you don't need credit. So that means you give that credit to others. Very powerful. Number 7, true power comes from ability to adapt without losing your core. Being able to adapt without losing your core. So it means that when you are in a new environment, what parts of you will you adjust? It might be that in the community or in a group or anywhere you are, maybe they believe in different things, maybe different values. You're able to adjust the way how you do things, but you're not able to adjust the values that you base your decisions on. You're not able to adjust the character of who you are. And this is very, very important. So it's great to be flexible, it's great to be adaptable, it's great to say that I'm malleable, I'm able to adjust. But I think that the most important part, we need to be so aware of ourselves that, like, I'm not willing to really negotiate my most important values, those priorities, that no matter what, those will be the key aspects. And no matter where I go, I will keep them. That core of me, I will keep them. But I'm able to adjust other things that is not as important for the season of this life. And it's very, very important. And true power is ability to adapt without losing your core. Number 8, True power comes from turning fear into fuel. Turning fear into the fuel. That means that when you fear, we need to use that energy from the fear into execution. I really love that it says that anxiety and fear has exactly the same um, emotions or feelings like excitement. And it's your choice to see that fear or anxiety as something very, very bad or as anxiety and excitement. Because when you're excited, that means that you're just waiting for to really go into it full pledged energy to really make sure that you go through it rather than run away from it. So being able to use that fear into fuel to really go and make sure that we don't feel that fear. Now there's of course two things that we're able to do. We're able to reduce the fear, we're able to increase the courage, because courage allows you to really execute no matter what. And when you're able to really understand where that fear is coming from, because most time it's coming from imagination. That means that we're able to change that. If you imagine wrong things, maybe you're able to change to perspective and start to look into the good things. So three things that we need to think about fear is one thing that fear is your perspective, good thing or a bad thing, because that's a fuel. Second thing, be able to increase our energy, increase our courage. And the third thing that we need to consider is, okay, how I visualize that, because our visualization of that fear, because a lot of times fear is coming because we visualize the worst case scenario. But what happens if we start to visualizing the best case scenario? That's where I said that there's how we look into things will dictate how we see, is it fear or excitement. Excitement is coming when you start visualizing what the best case scenario, and anxiety and fear is coming from when we start to visualize the worst case scenario. Number 9, true power comes from serving a mission bigger than yourself. I really love saying that if your vision doesn't scare you, that means that your vision or mission is too small. And if you are able to achieve that vision or mission by yourself, that means that again is too small. We need to really see, okay, how my mission vision could be so big that I could include others in that mission, in that vision, and really achieve that mission to really serve other people. Because I truly believe every single person is here on earth to serve people in one way or another. Every single person has totally different reason how they will serve other people. And one thing is that I think that this beautiful thing is to understand that some people serving you by doing something terrible for you. Some people serving you by doing something terrible for you. What I mean by that is that a lot of times people hurt you very bad internally. And that hurt could make you bitter or can make you better. Because majority of people understand that the biggest growth coming from adversity, from pain. So that means that other person who came into your life to hurt you came to serve you without you knowing that. So why are we supposed to really, and this is a forgiveness question as well. If that person made you so much, if that person made you so much better, maybe you're supposed to forgive, and sometimes even being grateful that they came in and taught you the lesson that is such a powerful lesson. I think that we're not able to forgive because we didn't grow from that lesson. We didn't grow through that hurt. But when you grew through that hurt, when we grew through that disappointment, that adversity, I think that's when you're actually able to say, like, I forgive you. I'm grateful that you came into my life. It was hurtful. It was a bad thing that you did, but I'm okay. I'm moving forward. And again, I think that's when you realize that you were able to serve other people in a big, big, big way as well. The last one I want to mention is that true power comes from knowing that leadership is not about you. It's about them. Leadership is not about you, it's about them. It's always there. And I love that what John C. Maxwell says, that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And that means that when you really have that leadership perspective, true power, when you start to see that they are most important here, and not your mission. Because Allah is auxiliary. Like you will have every what you want in life, and you'll help enough people to help to achieve what they want. And it's too powerful. I think that true leader thinks that way. So I will help them to achieve what they want, and by helping them, they will help me achieve my goals. So I hope that you reflect as well. What do you feel is true power in life? Because I think that there is a lot of great things in life that are true power. And sometimes we pursue things that is not as important. We sometimes major in minor things. But when you understand, okay, this is a true power. When able to start looking, okay, how I could major in true power, or how I could major in major things. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.